A mustachioed man finishes his coffee with mushrooms and decides to take over the world. But to do so, he has to defeat a very fast blue hedgehog and a flying fox. This movie is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Let's go! On the mushroom planet, life is in full swing. Every mushroom is busy doing its own thing. But it seems like Sonic is not really welcome here. But it turns out that it's Dr. Robotnik having fun. He's been on the mushroom planet for days now, accompanied by his only friend, a rock named Stone. He drinks mushroom coffee and plays mushroom chess with himself. The coffee, by the way, tastes disgusting. He comes up with a cunning plan and creates a device in which he uses Sonic the Hedgehog's needle to create a large electromagnetic pulse and passes out from the massive discharge. But it all works out. The pulse attracts the attention of the Echidna warriors, and with the help of a portal, they appear at the place with the prearranged traps. The Echidnas are armed and very dangerous. Despite this, almost all of them fall into the villain's traps. One of the Echidna hasn't been caught, the one with the lightsaber, but it is knocked down by the rock Stone. Dr. Robotnik rushes to the portal to escape from the mushroom planet, but suddenly he notices a huge red Echidna in front of him. It's Knuckles. And he doesn't like Sonic very much either. Meanwhile, on Earth, the police are chasing armed bandits. Sonic notices this and immediately rushes to hell. He adjusts his super speedy sneakers, warms up and eats a hot dog. In just a second, our hero catches up to the bandits and gets behind the wheel. Sonic gives the criminals a hard race, and the money they stole is flying down the streets like confetti. Also, he almost runs over a girl on a crosswalk. What a menace! There's a whole bag of explosive devices in the car, and they start to burn. At the last second, Sonic manages to throw them out of the car and blow up a garbage truck. Another bomb is stuck in his needles. Our hero throws it into the sewer. Sonic is very pleased with himself, but suddenly he notices a street cafe in his way, where people are enjoying ice cream. Uh-oh, Sonic finds a screwdriver and disassembles the car on the fly. Looks like this boy is now traumatized for life. And remember the bomb Sonic dropped into the sewer? Well, it exploded and damaged the pipes, causing water to rush down the street. At this point, the police finally catch up with them. Sonic is proud of his exploits, but people aren't thrilled at all, for some reason. Our hero rushes through the mountains at the speed of light and returns to his cozy house. Sonic pulls a feather and a map with mysterious signs from the nightstand. We learn that it's a feather from an owl called Longclaw. Tired of his adventures, our hero goes to bed, but it does not work out. First he gets disturbed by Ozzy the dog, and then Sonic is reminded to meet his friend and foster father Tom. They are fishing together at the lake. More precisely, Tom is fishing while Sonic sleeps with a fishing rod in his hands and of course falls off the boat into the water. Turns out he can't swim. Tom pulls Sonic out of the water and scolds him for this bad behavior, because his exploits do more harm than good. In response, our hero uses his super acceleration mode and races the boat all over the lake. Tom and his wife Maddie go to Hawaii for the wedding of Rachel, Maddie's sister. By plane? No, by portal. Convenient. If anything happens, they can go back at any time with the portal ring. Sonic throws a fun party with songs, dancing and lots of yummy food. He does himself fancy hairstyles, rides a skateboard, and uses the portal to steal candy from the store. Oh, what a little bully. He makes a terrible mess and turns the house into a dump. In the evening, he has a foam disco. And all this, of course, is fine. But on the mountain, we see another portal. It was created by a cute little fox with two tails. He jumps down and flies somewhere, using his tail as a propeller. At this time, Sonic has his phone ringing, cleans the house at the speed of sound, and only then answers it. It's Tom. He's having a great time. After chatting with his friend, Sonic decides to watch some movies together with Ozzy. However, at that time, we see another portal appearing outside the window. The lights go out, and someone burns out the door handle along with the lock. Dr. Robotnik appears on the doorstep. Sonic attacks him, but Knuckles appearing behind the villain's back knocks our hero out. 1-0 in the favor of the red Echidna. Sonic tries to counterattack, but gets defeated again. 2-0. Sonic makes a third attempt, but Knuckles literally smears him, and even Robotnik's popcorn flies in all directions. The red Echidna tells Sonic that their people intend to regain their absolute power, but at this point, it gets hit by a police car. Behind the wheel is that two-tailed Foxy. Sonic hops into the car and they manage to escape from the crazy Robotnik. Foxy says his name is Miles, but Sonic gives him the name Tails. It turns out that Robotnik and Knuckles are looking for the legendary Master Emerald, and they think Sonic can help them find the artifact. They are caught up by a furious Knuckles who breaks down the door. The car flies off the road into a cliff. Foxy grabs Sonic and they fly off together, with the help of his tail. However, Knuckles also manages to jump out of the car, so the battle isn't over yet. At this time, the barista at one of the cafes receives a message from Dr. Robotnik. "Prepare my latte." It's Agent Stone. The man immediately uses the coffee maker to connect to a satellite and screams with delight. We see a spaceship in the shape of an enormous egg descending to Earth. Dr. Robotnik gets aboard, puts on his villain suit, and surrounds himself with an army of drones. Robotnik finds Knuckles and demands more data on the Master Emerald. They decide to team up to gain absolute power and destroy Sonic. Our hero, along with Foxy, tries to figure out which emerald Knuckles was talking about. Sonic shows Miles the map left by his friend Owl. It indeed has an emerald drawn on it. Suddenly, the map begins to glow bright blue and shows a projection of Longclaw the Owl above it. The Owl shows him the very Master Emerald and tells him that it has the power to turn thoughts into reality. And now Sonic should find it and protect it from evil hands. The owl disappears, leaving our hero with a blue feather. Sonic looks at the map and realizes that the first clue must be somewhere in Siberia. He opens the portal and jumps inside together with Tails. At this time, Dr. Robotnik enters a cafe, where he's met by Agent Stone with a cup of coffee. Also, the cafe is entered by the menacing Knuckles. The place turns into a real laboratory. Unsuspecting Tom plays beach volleyball in Hawaii, though the game looks more like an attempt to beat Tom with a ball than a competition. Meanwhile, Sonic and Tails are making their way through the snowy Siberian storm. Fortunately, they find a large inn on their way, and they rush to eat and get warm. But they don't seem to be very welcome here. Even the fish head tells them to run away from here. Tails feigns, but brave Sonic asks for a table for two. They order fish borscht, and Miles tells him that he is an inventor and has been watching Sonic for a long time. He saw our hero save an entire city from the mad Robotnik, so he really admires his bravery. At this time, Robotnik himself and his assistants track Sonic's cell phone signal and learn that he is in Siberia. Our heroes have their order served, but it's clearly not what they've ordered. They are outraged and immediately find themselves surrounded by a crowd of angry men who tear their clothes off. The man decides that our heroes are monsters and want to throw them into the fire. With the help of the translator, Tails suggests that the men engage in a competition. It looks like they are going to have to fight with one of the strongest fighters. The musicians show up, and the menacing man starts dancing. So that's the kind of competition we're talking about. It's a dance battle. But Sonic and Tails aren't doing so well. They are constantly getting tangled up in their tails. The harsh Russian dancer shows our heroes their card and wants to take it away. Sonic switches up the music, and together with Tails, they show off all their talent. The audience is thrilled, their opponents are shocked, and Tails uses his gadgets to make lots of holograms, and now there are dozens of Sonic and Tails dancing in the inn. It's a victory, and now our heroes have the map again. Sonic and Tails hug happily, and Tails confesses that he hasn't got any friends, because everyone teased him about his extra tail, but thanks to Sonic, he believes in himself. Tails falls asleep, and Sonic fondly covers his friend with a blanket. In the morning, our heroes fly alongside the snowy mountains. They find a cave with a huge owl-shaped door, look inside and find themselves in an ancient temple. There they learn the history of Emerald's creation. It turns out that it was created by the Echidnan warriors who defeated their enemies. However, the Owls of the Order of Heroes have stolen the stone to protect it from evil hands. Then the Echidnas and the Owls initiated a long-term war between each other. Sonic sees a statue of a giant owl, enters signs from the map on it, and suddenly the owl's eyes glow green. It spreads its wings and throws them a magic compass, which can lead our heroes to the Emerald. But at that time, they are surrounded by Robotnik's drones, as well as the villain himself accompanied by Knuckles. He attacks Sonic, but Sonic deftly repels the projectile. The owl statue falls down. Our heroes rush for the exit. Foxy flies away, and Sonic conquers the snowy peaks on his homemade snowboard. Dozens of drones fly after him, and our hero shoots down some of them with the snowballs, deftly maneuvering between their guns. Suddenly, Sonic gets caught by Knuckles, who knocks him down and confesses that he is the only survivor of the Echidna tribe, since they all died with the owls. Knuckles was too young at the time and was not taken with the others, but at that time, Sonic lost a close friend too. Tails rushes to help his friend. Sonic throws him a compass, but it falls into the hands of Dr. Robotnik. The villain attacks our heroes, causing Tails to lose consciousness. The mountains are overtaken by avalanches. Sonic grabs Foxy and drives down the mountain on the part of Robotnik's car. In the meantime, in Hawaii, there is a beautiful wedding ceremony. At the most crucial moment, Tom gets a phone call. From Sonic, of course. He asks Tom to urgently open a portal to Hawaii for him. The man tries to do it, but he seems to be holding the wrong ring. The real portal ring is about to end up on the bride's finger. Tom asks the groom to give him the ring, but of course he refuses. Tom has nothing to do but use his fist. He takes the ring away, throws it, and immediately creates a portal through which Sonic and Foxy appear along with a whole mountain of snow. Sonic informs Tom of Robotnik's return and brings Tails to consciousness. Suddenly, he gets caught in a net. We learn that almost everyone at the wedding is a secret agent working for Guardian Units of Nation, or simply GUN. Rachel's fiancé is furious. Her wedding turns out to be a sham. The agents capture Sonic, Tails and Tom and lock them in a hotel. Maddie finds Tails' yellow backpack and sees a bunch of different gadgets in it. Together with Rachel, they decide to free the prisoners and take revenge on the dishonest fiancé. Tails' gadgets help them out a lot. They send the guards flying or just knock them out. Rachel destroys all the wedding decorations, leaving behind only fire and ashes, and heads for the groom. However, the groom assures Rachel that he loves her. The woman generously forgives him and kisses him sweetly. In the meantime, Maddie rescues Tom, Sonic and Tails, but it's too soon to rejoice. Using a stolen compass, Robotnik and Knuckles find their way into the underwater temple that houses the Master Emerald. The temple awakens, alerting Sonic and the gun agents to the threat. Agent Stone is arrested by the sheriff. Sonic goes to the temple alone, as Tails is injured and still very weak. When he reaches the sea, he literally rushes through the water at super speed. But he gets hit by the waves and thrown ashore. Fortunately, our hero is quite close already. At this time, Robotnik and Knuckles overcome all the traps and find themselves in a huge maze. The compass helps them to choose the right path. Sonic also comes to the maze. The only thing that saves him from the traps is his super speed. Robotnik and Knuckles find the emerald, but Sonic falls on top of it. A furious Knuckles immediately attacks him, and they start a real fight for survival. They fight to the fullest. Robotnik betrays the Red Echidna, steals the Master Emerald and disappears, leaving Sonic and Knuckles in the crumbling temple. Sonic saves Knuckles from imminent death underwater, but he himself begins to suffocate from the lack of air. Then Knuckles saves Sonic and runs with him away from the temple. They make peace and agree to work together to defeat Robotnik. Tails arrives in a biplane and rescues his friends. Dr. Robotnik shows up at Agent Stone's cafe and declares that he has taken it to the next level. Well-equipped gun agents surround the cafe. Tom and Maddie arrive there as well. Robotnik, reinforced by the Master Emerald, destroys all the gun machinery, destroying them into small pieces and creating from it a giant mechanical robot that can be controlled from the inside. The villain dances joyfully, aware of his power and strength. The mechanical Robotnik moves forward and is ready to destroy everything in its path. The biplane with Sonic, Tails and Knuckles appears from the portal. Robotnik attacks them and throws Sonic down. Knuckles attacks Robotnik, but the forces are far from equal. In addition, the villain breaks the biplane, and Tails miraculously manages to escape. Sonic attacks Robotnik with his own rocket, but while he has the emerald, he's too strong and cannot be defeated. Sonic suggests that his friends team up. He distracts the villain and he attacks him with lasers from his eyes, and then with snot rockets. The bridge Sonic is running on collapses, and our hero falls down, losing his consciousness. Tails gets inside a mechanical robot and creates many of his holograms. The robot attacks them all, but that was also a distraction. Here we see Knuckles attacking Robotnik and knocking the Master Emerald out of him. The mechanical robot falls, along with everyone who was inside. Sonic wakes up and sees the emerald in front of him. He crawls to it, but the mechanical robot comes up behind him again. It looks like it has backup power. Just then, Tom and Maddie arrive with their car. They manage to rescue Sonic and the emerald. But Robotnik destroys their car and is going to crush them as well. The emerald in Sonic's hands disintegrates into a pile of small stones, which combine to turn our hero into a golden supersonic. He saves Tom and Maddie and uses his new powers to destroy the mechanical robot and bring it to the ground. Robotnik also falls with him. Remember the emerald's ability? It turns wishes into reality. So, with this, Sonic creates a yummy hot dog and wants to treat Knuckles to it, but something goes wrong. Sonic relinquishes the emerald's powers and gives its shards to Knuckles, whereupon the latter restores the Master Emerald. Since the owls and echidnas are extinct, Sonic, Tails and Knuckles decide to become the keepers of the stone themselves. Our heroes play baseball and then go for ice cream. By the way, the emerald is now stored in Tom's little refrigerator. The gun agents never found Robotnik's body, but they did find an old file called Project Shadow. And at the same time, we see the opening of a capsule with a black and red hedgehog getting out of it. Subscribing to our channel won't give you superpowers, of course, but it will give you a chance to regularly get cool recaps like this one.